look like a grandma.
You don't. Good morning, guys. It's a lot of shine up in here.
That looks bad.
Maybe we need both of them. Unfortunately, the sun is because it's early morning and the sun has not come up yet. Good morning, guys. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show, where we are having confessions and conversations about your everyday life and finances. My name is Yamiche Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? Rosie is a little under the weather this morning. You want to say good morning, Roseline?
I was about to check out my nails, but
Good morning. So she's not feeling well today. So y'all keep Rosie in your prayers for the day. She is going to try to tough it out at school this morning. Let's get it. I hope you guys are ready to get the day started. I hope you watched the show on yesterday and that you are sharing it. I greatly appreciate you sharing, because sharing is caring. And as always, I hope that I share something that is going to help somebody somewhere achieve something. So that is that's my goal. Before we get started, you okay, Poodle Poop? Okay. Before we get started, don't forget, I Am My Sister's Keeper t-shirts are available that says Sister's Keeper on the back. I wonder how can we show that to reverse it, Rosie? I need Courtney to take another picture because she doesn't want me to post any of the pictures of her in there. Oh, okay. Oh, I had one big enough. So if you want one, if you want an I Am My Sister's Keeper t-shirt, go to livepastcrazy.com and you can order you a t-shirt as well as any other Be Fearless apparel is over there. Book bags, totes, and phone cases, and just a little bit of everything is over there. All right, so the Fearless thought for the day. Did I miss anything, Rosie? Did I miss anything? Thank you. This time change, y'all, when I was younger, didn't bother me. Now that I'm older, it's really, I don't know if it's in my subconscious or if it's really, really bothering me. Yeah, I know you did. All right, have a great day. Be peaceful. So, all right, guys. So, you sure you're going to be okay? Call me if you need me. If you don't feel better. Was that a good stretch? Yeah, you stretched it out on camera. You want to tell everybody have a good day since you're leaving?
Have a good day.
All right.
Be peaceful.
Be peaceful. Call me if you need me, okay? So, the Fearless thought for today. Be careful. Drink plenty of water. Miss Margaret said good morning. She's waving. Rosie doesn't feel good this morning. So, she's going to school with a stuffy nose. Do you have a sore throat still? And a sore throat. Drink your water. You might need that.
I don't think so.
Yes, you better.
I'm not.
Yes.
At all.
Yes, you are.
Whatsoever.
Roseline, don't make me beat you.
I'm not. I can't.
Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show, guys, where we are having confessions and conversations about your everyday life and finances. My name is Yamiche Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? I'm getting started this morning. I'm sorry. I was checking on Rosie to make sure she's okay because she's not feeling well today. So she took some medicine and she's going to try to tough it out at school. All right. So yesterday, if you missed the show yesterday, I talked about, being deep in the struggle and, being deep in the struggle and not knowing where to go and what to do, and being deep in the struggle where you can't even comprehend to begin to think that there is a better way to do anything. And so today I want to kind of share some of the things that I did, and it may not necessarily be anything that is that you can use, but hopefully it's something somebody can use. Please make sure you share the video because sharing is caring. And if your friends and family do not have Facebook, remember we do have a YouTube channel where they can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows over there. We are 380 shows strong. Please excuse me. This time change has got a sister just messed up today. So, two things with the Fearless Thought for today. Number one, I want you to realize that there is more than what we can see. There's more to it than what we see. A lot of times we think that life or the world or our friends, our family, and what we see on TV, is all there is to the world, when there is so much more. And I use the example of, who do you think of when you think of wealthy people? People who have a lot of money. So immediately you think football players, basketball players, you think Oprah. You have big names that you think when it comes to the people that are wealthy, who have, who are well off. But that is just what you see. There are so many more millionaires or, people who are financially stable than what you see. There's so much more to the world than what you see, than just what is in front of you. What you can comprehend, what you comprehend and what you're seeing. The world is so much bigger. And I think in the land of social media, we get caught up a lot of times thinking that what we see is it, when there's just the world. Like, there's countries and continents, and there's so much to the world that we don't limit yourself by assuming what you see is everything. There is so much more wealth. There's so much more abundance. There is so much more of everything. It's just that sometimes when you're deep in it, you can't see it and you can't comprehend it. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. Like, I'm awake. I'm wide awake and I don't know why I'm yawning so much. I have the windows down. I got some fresh air. But that's just a reminder that there's so much more to the world than what we see. There's more wealthy people than the ones that you see on TV. There's so much more to the world than social media, than the TV shows that we watch. There are people out here, young people who are younger than us, which should challenge us, because there are kids out here who at 9 and 10 and 12 are changing the world, and we are busy complaining about our world, and they're doing something about it. So there's so much more. So that's part one, that there's so much more to the world than we can see. Part two is, when I was telling you guys yesterday about the struggle, being deep down in the struggle and not knowing what to do next. Like, what do you do next? To the point where, how am I going to get out of the shelter? How do I get the lights turned back on? How do I stop living paycheck to paycheck? So one of the things that I had to do is I had to take a minute. Y'all know I'm always going to tell you to be quiet and reevaluate yourself. So I had to take a minute and look at myself and think about, what could I do to help my situation, to help change it? Because I didn't want to get caught up in thinking I had to go somewhere else for somebody to change my situation for me, or that I needed the government to change. Well, if I just had food stamps, well, if I could just get this, if I could just get that, or if somebody could help me with that. When I removed the responsibility off of everybody else, well, if they would just help me pay my bills, or if I could just get some help, because I'm a single parent. Well, if I could just myself to death. And it wasn't until I decided that perhaps it was something that I needed to do, that it was something I was going to do. And then if things were going to get better out of all of this craziness, I had to be the one that was going to do it. There was no other way. There was no other answers. Nobody else was going to figure it out for me. Nobody was going to drop me $1 million. It just wasn't going to happen. Like I had to be the one to make it happen. So one of the things that I decided to do, which was crazy at the time, hey, I was working at IBM and I knew I wanted to go. I knew I love to learn. I knew I want to go back to school. So I went back to school to get a master's degree. Now, let me tell you, it was not feasible at that time for me to go back to school to get a master's degree. My family was still 330 miles away. I still had a 1-year-old and a 7-year-old, an 8-year-old at that time. And I was going back to school. I don't even think Rosie was 1 when I decided to go back to school. But when I started to put things in action, when I started to work towards something instead of complaining, then the answers came. I said that in the show on Thursday. Once you start moving, the answers will come. And people just showed up. Do you need me to watch the girls while you go to school? I'm not going to say that it was always easy, that I always had a sitter. I'm not even going to say that most times I barely had gas to get to school, get back, pick up the girls, and get back home. But I was dedicated and committed to the point that I wasn't going to continue to live with $12.26 an hour. So that meant I got up at 5 a.m. and I was, on the road at 6 to take care of the kids, take them where they had to be, drive to work. I did my homework at work when I should have been working. And then on my lunch break, I went to my car and I took a nap. And then when I got off at 5, I would literally drive 45 minutes to one city, pick up my girls, drive 30 minutes to another city, drop them off, drive 20 minutes to another city, sit in a classroom until 10 o'clock at night, drive 20 minutes to pick them up, another 30 minutes to our house. And now I wouldn't get home to almost 11:30 with a 1-year-old and an 8-year-old. And I would put them to bed, and then I would go to bed around 1, and then I'd wake up at 5. And I did that until I finished my master's degree. Now, in between that, the light still got cut off. The struggle was all the way real. But something also happened when I became determined that I wasn't going to stay at that $12.26 an hour job anymore, that I wasn't going to struggle anymore. The answers started to come, and they came easier. So the struggle was less and less and less. So as I'm deciding to go back to school, the next thing I did is, I know I can't continue to live off $12.26 an hour. I can't. At this point, there is no pride. There is nothing that I'm not willing to do to make this happen, even if it means going back and working at McDonald's. So what I did was I started selling Avon. I invested $5 whole to sell Avon because I knew I needed more money. And when I tell y'all I was the Avon lady to the point where the UPS man, me and him was on a first name basis, and I hustled me some Avon. And the cleaning crew, I'll never forget this, the cleaning crew at IBM did not speak English. I ordered my books in Spanish and placed them in the bathroom. And I Googled how to translate to place your order, please call JoJo, or come to this office and see me. And I printed it, I wrote it out in Spanish on a little sticker, and I stuck it throughout all of IBM in Raleigh-Durham, in the RTP Park. That is a huge campus. They have a good 45 bathrooms. JoJo's name was in every last one of those bathrooms. And what I found was, it didn't matter if I didn't speak Spanish or not. They showed up at my office. They had circled what they wanted. They handed me the money. I gave them the product. And when I tell y'all, I hustled Avon for 2 years to help get me stop me from struggling from paycheck to paycheck. And another thing, as I'm doing that, I'm still in school, so none of that has changed. The struggle is still all the way real. And then I had to realize, do I want to stay at IBM so I can tell people that I'm working there, or do I want to do something about that? So sometimes, y'all, the answer is there, and you got to be willing to do the work of the answer. So that meant I had to upgrade my resume, and I had to change some things, and I had to leave IBM. I had to take a leap of faith. And I left IBM for Duke. And at Duke, I made $16, $17 an hour. That was more than I was making. But if I'm still driving to Raleigh, into Durham every day, that's gas. So the struggle didn't stop. It did make it a little easier. Again, you got to be willing to do the work of the answer. And I was at Duke for a long time until I had the next revelation. Are you going to stay here just so that you can say you worked at Duke? Or are you going to do something about it? And so what I did, I upped my resume again, applied for more jobs. And the job I took this time, I made less money. I took a job when I left Duke, I was making less money. I took a step back, but it was closer to home, so I wasn't spending $80, $85, $90 in gas, so it seemed like I was gaining money. At that job, I worked my tail off, and within 6 months, I was making more than what I was making at Duke. Now, granted, $32,000 is not a lot of money. $35,000 is not a lot of money, but to somebody who's only making $12 an hour, I was barely making $20,000 a year. To go to 32, 35, that was great. And then when I left from that job, I lost my job. So then I had to decide, JoJo, life is so much bigger than what you decide you want it to be. So from there, I had to decide, what was I going to do now? So I cashed in my 401k. I put my stuff in storage. I packed up my kids and I moved to another city with no job. But when I found one, because I upped my resume again, and this is where that self-talk where you have to have belief in yourself, all of that comes into play. I found a job that paid more money than I ever imagined. But it all started with that $12.26. It started with me being so deep in that struggle. If y'all missed the show yesterday, go back and check it out. The struggle of the lights is going to get cut off. I have no money to get to work. I have no gas to put in my car. There's no food in the house. Me leaving the kids in the car so I can go flip the switch to see if we even have power so that I can call somebody to ask them, can we spend the night at their house because my power is off. I've been deep in that struggle of washing my clothes in the bathtub and had to hang them up in the house so that we have clean clothes to dry. There's no struggle I don't understand. I know that struggle. And so until you decide that you are both the problem and the solution, until I decided that I wanted to be part of my own solution, then I started to take the steps. And the more you start to work it, the answers come. But you've got to be committed that you can do better. You have to understand that there's more to it than what you can see right now. Yes, the struggle is real. Yes, daycare payments are real. And there were times I had to run past the front desk so they wouldn't stop me and say, Miss Waddell, your girls cannot come until you pay. And wrote them a check and prayed to God that they didn't cash it till I got paid 3 days later. I understand the account being in the negative, and when you get paid, it's still going to be in the negative after you pay all the bills. I've been in that kind of struggle. But you also have, in the heart of that, in the midst of that, like I said yesterday, that's when you have to see something different. That's when your circle's going to come into play. Those friends who help, are they going to help you continue in your pity party? Or are they going to show you something different? And then when you take a minute, hey, I had to take a minute. Oftentimes I take the girls to the park, and as they were playing, that's when I had my quiet time to think, JoJo, what are you going to do to get out of this situation? What are you going to do? I hustled Avon, and I hustled Avon for 2 years. I was your Avon lady. I upped my resume. I changed some things. I had to start paying attention to how I may be contributing to my crazy. Either I was going to continue to complain about my situation, or I was going to do something about my situation. And when you get to that point where you decide you're actually going to do something about your situation, then the answers start to show up. Things start to come together, but you've got to be willing to do the work of the answer. If you're not willing to do the work of the answer, then Your crazy will continue. It's going to continue and it's going to increase. And it's not going to change. So think about that today, guys. On this marvelous Tuesday, Take Action Tuesday, and it's Taco Tuesday. I have tacos for today. So on this Take Action Tuesday, know that there's more to the world than what you see. Sometimes when we're deep in the struggle, we can't see anything other than our struggle. I understand that it's hard to see anything past that. Been there and done that. It's hard to see I don't have any diapers and there's no milk in the house and my child is hungry. I understand that I had to lay my baby down with layers of towels because I only had 3 or 4 diapers and I needed those for daycare. So as long as she was at home, I could keep her in a towel or something so that I could clean up behind her. I've been to that. I've been that kind of struggle. I've been that struggle where we had rice and vegetables in the refrigerator. And honey, I made you a meal. I chopped up the leftover peppers and onions and melted some cheese and milk and stirred it together and poured it over the old rice, put it in a baking pan, poured it over the rice, stuck it in the oven, preheated those vegetables, added some more seasoning, and we had a whole meal kind of struggle. I've been in a struggle where the kids ate and I didn't eat, where we stayed at the house where the water was turned off and I went to the store and had enough money to buy jugs of water and we heated it up and we took baths. So I know the struggle. I know what it's like to not see anything past your immediate pain. But that's when that's the place where the battles are won, and that's where you have to focus more on there's more to this world than this. There's got to be. And that's where you have that self-talk with yourself that you're going to do something about it. And one of the things that I did, I had to figure out how I was going to bring in more income to my house because it wasn't fair for my children to struggle or to see me struggle. So I became the Avon lady. I then upped my resume. I went back to school. It was a struggle. It was hard. I'm never going to tell you that this journey is easy. I will tell you that it is absolutely worth it. So until you realize that it's worth it, then you're going to continue in the struggle. I promise. So I hope this has helped somebody today, guys. If it has, please let me know. Please make sure you share the video because sharing is caring. If your friends and family do not have Facebook, we do have a YouTube channel where you can binge watch. I have over 380 shows over there. So if you simply type in the Fearless Morning Show, you can binge watch them all. They are by topic and by title. So you can pick whichever one you want to watch and watch it over there. So I hope this has helped somebody. Please don't forget, if you want I Am My Sister's Keeper t-shirt, you can find it at livepastcrazy.com. Here is the t-shirt. I Am My Sister's Keeper, and it says Sister's Keeper on the back. So if you want one, I am taking those for pre-order so that you can, because I am my sister's keeper. I am my brother's keeper. And the sooner we realize that it's hard sometimes to see our sisters and our brothers struggle. And sometimes, yes, we have to walk away. But ultimately, if I know better, I then have to share. I can't not share what I know simply because I want to be selfish and not share. Y'all, the struggle can be real. It can be hard, but until you get determined that you want to do something, until you get mad enough to say, forget this, I'm not fixing to live like this no more, it's going to continue. Until I got real that, JoJo, your lights are always going to be turned off, your water. And here's the thing, at that point, it wasn't bad money management. I had no money. So a lot of people, and sometimes people say, oh, if you can budget your money, it's hard to budget when you don't have enough to cover your bills. And that, my friend, was my struggle. And it is at that point that you got to decide what you're going to do. And I realized I had to bring in more money. I knew, then if you're a single parent, you know this. You know you need a second job. But who's going to keep the kids? My family was 300 and something miles away. So who was going to keep my children while I worked the second job that I know I needed to take care of my family. So that wasn't happening. So that's why I became the Avon lady. $5 whole is what I invested in. For 2 years, I hustled Avon to bring money into the house. So my kids, when they want, for us, McDonald's was a treat. Like, I remember going almost a whole year without eating at McDonald's. I couldn't afford it. Every dime went toward gas to get to work or to pay a bill. Every dime. There was no, and the free stuff we did, I went to the park. That was free. We went to the museums. That was free. We walked around downtown. That was free. I was queen of free.com. Whatever was free is what we were doing. But I hustled at Avon so that we didn't have to live like that anymore. And then when I decided, Avon may not, I need something else beside Avon, I upped my resume and I stopped being scared of leaving the job that I was at and the friends that I was at, because guess what? They may be content where they at, but I was not content. And I had to get over the stigma of, I work at IBM, but I wasn't making no money. So did I want to hold on to the name of saying that's where I work and be broke? Or did I want to leave and make some money? And so I decided to leave and make some money. I missed my friends, but guess what? We had telephone, we had email, and I still keep in touch with the people I worked with at IBM 14 years ago. I'm still friends with today. Still talk to all the time. So when you become determined to see past your struggle, because it's hard to see it right now, but I promise you that there's so much more life out there than what you see. Earlier I mentioned, when you think about wealthy people, what do you usually think about? Football, basketball players, you think Oprah, you think actors. There's so many more millionaires out there than what you can see. That is insane. There's so many more people that are doing better who may, and here's the thing, please don't use for an excuse, I'm not you, JoJo. I'm from Union Mills, North Carolina. Can we please talk about how country that is? Just for a minute. That's way, way country. I'm just telling you. We walked to church. We played at Uncle Luke Farm, George King Hill. I'm just saying. I'm no different from you. The difference is when you decide that you're going to do something about it. When you decide you're going to do something about it, your brain gets excited. You become way more motivated and you can accomplish you're way smarter than you think. Think about it. How hard are you hustling right now to make things happen? Imagine if you put that hustle towards something else. Imagine that. Think about that for a minute. You hustling hard, girl. Man, my brothers, we out here hustling. Every day we making it happen. We robbing Peter to pay Paul, Matthew, Luke, and John. And somehow, some way, we make it happen. So imagine if you just relaxed your mind to allow yourself to think that there is better and apply that. And hustle just a little harder for yourself. I'm telling you. And at that point for me, there was no ego. I had to do something. And I was very much going to go back to McDonald's and flip a burger. So I could not, because what I was not going to do is continue to struggle like that. Because that's not how we were created and it's not how it's supposed to be. I'm a firm believer. Some people struggle on purpose. Because at some point, we know the answers. We are both the answer and the solution to our problems. We know the answer. We got to be willing to do the answer. We want the change. We just don't want the inconvenience of the change. Meaning, I wanted to change, but I don't want to do the work that's required to change. And my friend, you can't have one without the other. It's not going to happen. So that is it for the Phyllis Thought for the day on this Take Action Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, Thankful Tuesday, Take It to the House Tuesday, whatever Tuesday you want it to be. I hope this has helped somebody. If it has, please let me know. Please make sure you share the video because sharing is caring. If your friends and family do not have Facebook, we do have a YouTube channel so you can binge watch all the YouTube videos that you want. I am thinking about hosting a March Madness teleseminar, which means you can watch it on your phone, on your computer, and we're going to actually walk through some things. If you're interested in that, let me know. I don't want to do it if nobody's interested doing it, because y'all know I love basketball season, so this is March Madness. So if you're interested in joining me in that, let me know, and I will share the information with you. All right, guys, I hope you have an amazing day. Please go to livepastcrazy.com. Check it out. If you want a free gift, I'm a queen of to-do lists. Text Be Fearless, all capital letters, Be Fearless, to 345-345. Again, text Be Fearless, all caps, and that's 2 words, Be Fearless, to 345-345, and you'll get a copy of my to-do list that I use every day to help keep things on my mind of what I need to do. Like, I share this to-do list with folk at work. I share it with everybody. So go ahead and get you a free to-do list. You can download it on your phone. You can print it out. You can do whatever you like. Hopefully it will help somebody. So text Be Fearless, all caps, to 345-345. Please don't forget to order your I Am My Sister's Keepers t-shirt. One more time. This is what they look like, because we are our sister's keeper. And you can find them on livepastcrazy.com. And make sure you sign up to be a part of the Fearless Journey. So go over to livepastcrazy.com. Make sure you sign up and share it with a friend, because sharing is caring. All right, guys, I hope you have an amazing Tuesday. Please be peaceful. Be careful. Be determined today that what you're going through will not happen again. Please be determined that what you know, that there's more to it than what you see right now. The struggle is real. If I got caught up in the idea that I worked at IBM, I wouldn't have moved to Duke. You know, I love IBM, but I didn't love the $12 I was making. And then when I went to Duke, I loved the money I was making, but I wanted more. And until you decide that you're both the answer and the solution, until you decide that the struggle has got to get better, then you'll do something about it. So change that resume, update that information. If you need some more money, look, I hustled Avon at IBM. I ain't even ashamed. I hustled Avon for 2 years. I sold it because I was tired of struggling. It's hard to get to work when you don't have gas in the car. It's hard getting to work knowing, and if y'all know the struggle all the way real, I knew how far I could go on empty with my car. I knew if my gas light came on when I was halfway to work, I knew I could pick up the kids and get home with that gas and maybe halfway back to work. By that time, hopefully, I had borrowed Peter and Paul, Matthew, Luke, and John to get gas money so I could get to work the next day. How many times I went without eating so that my kids could eat? And when I got angry about that, that's when I decided to do something about it. So I know the struggle. I know it's hard to see past it right now, but this is the time when you have to see it so that you can get past it. This is the place where you have to know that change is really, really going to happen. The struggle is real. Yes, it is. It's all, I ain't even going to lie, it's real. There were times where I wanted to go home, tell my mama, and just cry, please. I don't even want to be an adult no more. I don't want to pay no more bills. I ain't even got no money to pay the bills if I wanted to. It's embarrassing. And here's the thing. You've got to forgive yourself. I know I said I was closing out the show. I am. You got to forgive yourself. When you're in this struggle, I used to beat myself up all the time. JoJo, your lights is off. How could you let your lights get turned off? Well, when you're making $12.26 an hour and your daycare takes your entire paycheck that week, it's easy to have that happen. There is no budgeting when I have more bills than I have paycheck. And that's why I hustled Avon until I left IBM. And at Duke, I hustled something else. And then when I left Duke and went to the law firm, I didn't have to hustle as hard. And the bills were paid. But from that struggle point up, it was hard. And you got to forgive yourself. Eventually, I had to say, you know what, JoJo? Yeah, the lights got turned off. And you know, your kids look at you with that face like, Mommy, really? Why are we not going to school today? Mommy doesn't feel good. No, I don't feel good because I ain't got gas to take you there. I know that struggle. Mommy, are you going to eat? Nope, because I know if I eat, there's not going to be enough food for them. I may eat whatever they didn't eat, and I may scrap that up into a little bowl so in case they're hungry later, I can have that for them to eat. I know, when I tell y'all, I know the struggle. But until I understood that I was both the problem and the solution, then it stopped. I had to be able to think that there's got to be something different. And when I thought that there was something different and I opened myself up to it, that's when it happened. And then I had to forgive myself. I said, JoJo, you know what? You're doing the best you can do. And that's all you can do right now. And forgive, at least you're doing that much. And I had to forgive myself over and over and over again because I was beating myself up with that self-pity. Oh my Lord, them pity parties could last me days. Like, JoJo, you really just gonna feed your kids noodles for dinner? You really just gonna do this? Like, I had to forgive myself for a whole lot of things because I knew in my heart it wasn't my intent for me and my children to live in lack. But I also knew, even though it wasn't my intent, I had to be willing to do the work to change that. What is my intent? What is my intention? And why am I saying yes? Why was I continuing to say yes to work at a place just so I could say I worked there? And then it's your ego as well. I had to let go of my ego. I had to let go of, telling everybody I work at IBM. Yeah, and I love the job. I love the people. But the paycheck was not serving me nor my children. And I had to do something about it. And then when I decided to be angry enough to do something about it, then the answers came. Then it became easier for me to do the work of the answers. So as long as I'm making excuses, man, y'all know I can't come home. I ain't got no money. You know, we can't. When I tell y'all eating at McDonald's, literally we went a whole year without eating at McDonald's because I couldn't even afford that. And I didn't have food stamps. And when I tell you, when I first moved after leaving the shelter, living with friends, I had to live with friends. And then I got our own place. I had one chair in the house. I had one bed. And that's where we slept. And I had to go to food banks to feed children. Until you get to that point, there's no more ego. There's no more pride. There's no more what I'm not going to do to stop this struggle. So I know that struggle. And people tell me all the time, JoJo, you don't understand. I do. I understand washing my clothes in the bathtub and hanging them up throughout my house and keeping the windows and the blinds closed. Even in the summertime, having the heat on so I can dry my clothes so that we can have something clean to wear to work in the school. I understand that struggle. I understand very clearly. I understand that eventually I had to cut my own grass. So when I didn't have gas for my car, I took the lawnmower gas and put it in my car so I could get to work. I understand your struggle, my sister and my brother. I've been there. But what I'm telling you is if you got to be able to see something different past your struggle. And in that may mean changing your friends, changing your friend circle, changing the people you talk to every day. When I got so aggravated with my situation, I had to stop talking to the people that helped keep me in my situation. Y'all know a couple of weeks I talked about that. Sometimes your friends are keeping you exactly where you want to be. I had to stop talking to certain people because I knew we was going to have the same conversation. Girl, I'm broke. These kids on my nerves. I ain't got no money. Me neither. I don't know if my water on, my lights off. I was tired of having that conversation. I was sick of it. I don't want to have that conversation no more. I don't want my lights to be turned off. I don't want my water. I've worked too. And here's the thing. I knew I could do better, but until I let go of the pity party and took on the responsibility that yes, it's up to me to do something better. So I hustled at Avon. Yes, I did. 2 years. I hustled Avon. I delivered to your house. That's okay. I can come to you. I delivered to your house. Let me tell you how hard the hustle was. Flat tire. I changed it. Cars needed brakes. The guy that fixed it, I said, oh no, show me what to do. I put my brakes on myself after that point. Oh, you charge how much to change oil? Can I watch you? I changed the oil. The hustle, all the way real. I was not playing in these streets. You hear me? But until I realized I was both the problem and solution and did something about it, that meant I upped my resume. I hustled Avon. I did whatever it had to do. I wrote papers for college students. I sold clothes. I hemmed stuff. I cleaned. I did whatever I had to do to make extra money so I was not continuing in that crazy. And guess what happened? When I did that, the answers came. The struggle stopped being less and less and less and less. Because I wasn't focused on it. And sometimes you got to just see something different. And it may require you having a different level of friends for you to see something different. And that's what it required that of me. I couldn't keep having the same conversation with the same people because we was having pity parties together, and them pity parties together could last because I could cry and have a pity party on my own. I could do that. I could do that by myself. I had no problem with that until I decided and became committed that I wanted more. Then it changed. Then I stopped having those conversations, and then I stopped talking about it. Then I started doing something about it. And if you think, JoJo, I can't, you don't understand, I can't. I do. I understand completely. There is an answer for it. You just got to be willing to do we want the change. We just don't want the inconvenience of the change. Meaning we don't want to continue to go through the struggle to change to see something different. But there's more to this world. There's more to your pain. There's more to your struggle. You're halfway through it. If you just keep pushing, I promise it's there. If you hate that job and it's not making you enough money, leave it. I left IBM and I'm still friends with the folk I left there with. We all still friends. We still cool. I love the job. I didn't love the money. You deserve more. Why are you continuing to have less than? Because that's what you've always done. That's the way things have always been. Why continue? You can do more. You can have a better job. And I had to convince myself of that. I was like, JoJo, you can't get a better. You did good to get IBM. Yeah, you got 2 degrees, but you only worked at McDonald's most of your life. You can't, whatever. Fix that resume. If you don't know how, Google some samples and up your resume. Find you another job. Thank you, Gina. You got to. Because this is what I know. This is why I left my abusive husband. Number one, I didn't want to die, and I knew, not convinced, I knew he was going to kill me because he tried on 3 separate occasions. Number 2, I knew I didn't want my kids to see me in that. And number 3, after I left and I was struggling, I didn't want to see the look in my daughter's eyes anymore when she looked at me like, wow, I can't go on field trips because you ain't got no money. The lights is off. I can't even eat at McDonald's. You washing my clothes in the tub. She looking at me like, what? I'm a kid and this is how I'm, you an adult and I'm a kid, but this is how we living. And my children deserved more. And why was I doing less than? Because I didn't want to do the work. And then when I checked myself, like, JoJo, you're not stupid. You may be from Union Mills. You may be from Forest City. You worked at McDonald's your whole life, but you're not dumb. None of us are stupid because we hustle every day to make it happen. We can hustle up money to go to the club. We're going to hustle up money to buy a drink. We're going to hustle up money to get our hair did, our nails done. We can do all the things, but you telling me you're not willing to hustle so that your situation in your life can change? Then that makes no sense. Then at that point, my friend, you like where you are, so there's no need to complain because you are enjoying your current situation. And that's my philosophy in life. I don't like talking to people that tell me every day they hate their job. Do something about it. You can't. Why not? Well, my resume need to update it. Okay. For a whole year, I did Application Wednesday and I did resumes for free. Send your resume to somebody and have them do it. If you ain't got the money to pay for it, Google it and you do it. Take the time to do it. You can get the job. You can talk. Hustle your way in. How many jobs I done hustled my way into? Just like anybody else on any job, there's a learning curve and you gotta learn it. Hustle your way on in there. Handle your business. And if you're not willing to do the work of the answer, then please, you can't complain. And you can't complain about it because you like it. You enjoy it. There's more to this life than what you see. There's more past your struggle. You just got to be willing to do the work of that. Period. Let me tell you, if you're good at doing hair, do some hair in your house and make you some money. I was good at braiding and doing little girls' hair. You know how many little girls' hair I did in my church? I do it, baby. $10. Bring over to the. Oh, you want me to wash it? I'll wash it and do her hair. $20. You go on. $20. That was my gas money for the week. Do what you got to do. I ain't ashamed that I hustled Avon. Sure did. Hustled Mary Kay too. I hemmed clothes. I wrote papers. I did hair. I did whatever I had to do because I was bound and determined not to continue in that struggle. I'm just saying. The answers will come when you're ready to do the work. If you're not ready to do the work, you ain't ever going to see the answer because the answer is always going to be somebody else needs to fix it for me. Because that was me. Well, if they would just pay me more, then I do what I need to do. Well, I've been living in Forest City forever. So what I'm going to live? My mama and them here. So what am I going to leave for? Until you take away your excuses, then it's not going to change. You're happy where you are. And I had to realize that for myself. And, these confessions and conversations, this is my story. I share it so that hopefully somebody else can see that there is a different way, that there is a way out. Because there is life past crazy. You just got to be willing to do the work. You got to be willing to do the work. And that, my friend, is how it is. I promise. Does it get easier? Yes. Is it hard in the beginning? Hell yeah. It's hard. I ain't even gonna lie. When I tell you I hustled, I went to I fed my children through food banks. Every Tuesday, I went to the mosque. And I took in $2. I knew not to take in my pocketbook, anything else. I knew the sister was going to take me in the back room, pat me down, and make sure I didn't have anything on me. I was going to hand the brother $2, and the brother was going to carry me a cart of food out to my car. I knew that. I knew that if I went every Saturday, I was going to Jesus with Love store with $3. And with that $3, I could go in there and I could carry out whatever you could keep in your hand. So what I did was I put a book bag on the front of me, a book bag on the back of me. I did Courtney the same way. The baby was in the stroller. And when I tell you I became a master packer because they had clothes in there. And in the beginning, when I started working at IBM, I had 2 pairs of pants and 3 shirts. I washed them in the tub every day so that I could rotate them out. And with Jesus with Love, they had clothes in there. And I learned how to roll them really tight and stuff them down in the book bag so I could have different clothes. And I put I would stuff bread around my baby and up under her stroller so we could have bread. I put the canned goods in my book bags because they were the heaviest. And I put the vegetables in Courtney's book bag. And that's how I fed my kids. I'm not ashamed because I know the struggle. I know the hustle. I'm not ashamed because I knew I forgave myself for going through that struggle because I had to go through that because at the time I didn't have it. But I knew that was better. When I became determined to do something better, I didn't mind hustling. I didn't mind doing whatever I had to do to make that happen. So it's time to do the work. Time to do the work. Nothing ever in your life is going to change if you don't do the work. That is a promise. As my daddy said, you can take it to the bank and cash it. So think about that today on this Take Action Tuesday. I know I said I was ending the show. I don't know where that came from. I'm sorry, y'all. I know I said I was ending the show 6 minutes ago. I hope you have an amazing Tuesday. I hope this has helped somebody. If it has, please let me know. Because sometimes I don't want to think that I'm saying something and nobody is benefiting from it, or you can't help it, it doesn't help somebody, please make sure you share the video. If your friends and family do not have Facebook, we do have a YouTube channel. Simply type in Fearless Morning Show. You can binge watch all the shows over there. Don't forget, I Am My Sister's Keeper t-shirts are available. If you go over to livepastcrazy.com, you can order you a shirt. I do have one for my brothers coming. I Am My Brother's Keepers t-shirts, because we are. Absolutely. Because once we know, we have got to, I'm a firm believer. If I know, then I'm going to change my family. If I can change my family, we are going to change our community. If I can change my community, we will change the world. But my sister and my brother, it starts with you. And if you say, who am I, JoJo, to be doing this? Let's talk about me. I worked at McDonald's my whole life. I'm from Far City. Thank you, baby. How you doing? I'm from Far City. I'm from the country. I mean, who am I? Who am I? I was a nerd my whole life. I'm still a nerd. Ain't nothing changed. Who am I to be doing anything different? And so the same applies to you. Yes, it's you that's going to make the change for your family. You are the change that your family is waiting on, my brother. They waiting on you to move. They're waiting on you to take that first step, because you are the leader for your family. You have always been the leader for your family. You just refuse to believe that you were the leader for your family. But they always come to you for the answer. They always look to see what you're going to do first. They always asking your opinion. So it's you. Come on, man. We got work to do. What we ain't got time to do is for you to have excuses and complain about why you can't do it. You can do it. I promise you can do it. If you need a cheerleader, that's what I'm here for. I'll be your personal cheerleader. You need a pep talk. You don't understand? Send me a message. It ain't even got to be an awkward conversation. Hey, Joe, I was thinking about this. Hey, Joe, I'm feeling this kind of way today. I got you. I'm a talker. I'm going to take it and run from there. But my brother and my sister, the whole world is waiting on you. That $1 million idea, I'm waiting on that. I can't do what I need to do until you give it to me. So today, let's do the work, man. There's no more time. There's no more room for excuses. There's no more room for shooting the shit, as my daddy used to say. He said, JoJo, don't shoot the shit, do the shit. Sorry for y'all if y'all don't like cussing. But that's what my daddy said. And it's time to do the work. You do the work for everything else. Why not do the work for this? Your family and generations after you are I know the Waddell and Tweety name is resting on my shoulders. And every day that makes me get up and try a little bit harder. So it's resting on you, my sister. It's resting on you. Will it get hard sometimes? Yep, but you are fully equipped to do what you need to do, to go where you need to go, to handle what you need to handle. You are fully equipped to do so. Never doubt that. You are equipped. You just got to be ready to do the work. All right, that's y'all pep talk for the day. I'm done for real. I hope you have an amazing Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, Thankful Tuesday. More importantly, it is Take Action Tuesday. Text Be Fearless, all caps, to 345-345 to get my to-do list that I use every day to help keep me on track. If you need a little bit more motivation, go over to livepastcrazy.com, sign up for our newsletter, or better yet, send me a message today. I got you. I may be driving right now, but if you give me 2 seconds to park, I got you. I'm going to give you some motivation. I'm going to inspire you. I'm going to be your personal cheerleader, because I am my sister's keeper. I am my brother's keeper. And that's what it's all about. Go out and inspire somebody today. Go out and do something different today. Be that change that you want to see. The world is so much bigger than what you can see right now. I promise. All right, guys, I hope you have an amazing Tuesday. I'll see you here bright and early tomorrow morning. Have a good one.